Hey guys, my name is Lucas and welcome back to my studio. So this video will be without my face within the main video because when I checked the footage after I've made it, the camera just blurred out throughout the whole video. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this piano tutorial. So here we are in FL Studio. I have prepared 3 different pianos which sound like this. This is the piano that is meant to be played by itself. And then we have the green piano here that is called piano in mix. This is going to be the piano that we equalize so it fits within a mix. It sounds pretty much the same as the first one. And then we have the last one, the EDM piano as I call it, or house piano or whatever you want to call it. It's the same chords, just kind of chopped up so you had this pumped progressive feeling. So let's just get started. So with the first piano we have the solo piano, and what you want to do here is to of course grab your equalizer. So with a solo piano, if you only have piano and vocal in your mix, you really want the piano to be really emotional. You want it to be big and you want it to be fat. And the way to do this is to not cut out too many frequencies. So if we make a high pass on the first one right here, we will kind of let the sub frequencies sit within the mix, because if we don't have a sub bass, then why not just do this? What we also want to do is to cut out the places that we don't like. And typically for a piano there is 2 to 3 places that we want to cut out. And again, I'm no professional mix engineer or anything like that, but this is kind of the way that I approach the piano. And the last thing that we want to do is to add some presence to the piano. So now we have a nice piano, and let's just move on to the next one. So the next piano we're going to look at is the piano in mix, which also sounds almost identical to the first one. And we want to add another equalizer. So what to keep in mind is that when we have a piano within a bigger mix, we want to see the bigger picture. And we want to cut out a little more. So again, if we make another high pass, so as you can see, I've cut out a whole lot more of the bass frequencies, and this is because if you have a piano in a mix, you typically also have some bass notes and you have a kick drum and probably also some low-end pads or something like that. So what we want to do next is also to make some cuts where we don't like some frequencies. And what you need to keep in mind is that the Fruity Parametric EQ2 is a very aggressive equalizer, which means that just by doing this you have actually equalized -2 dB, and right here you have -18 dB. So you really want to be gentle with your cuts or with your boosts. But let's just find another place. Typically for a piano we have some frequency around 2000 Hz. And again, just like the first piano, we want to raise the presence of it. So if we compare the 2 pianos, we have the first one right here. And you can really hear that we have a lot of low end. But if we take the mixed piano, it's more present and we don't have as lot of low end as we could have. And this is because if we had some bass frequencies, we didn't want frequency masking. So the last piano is the EDM piano, which sounds like this. And for an EDM piano, we want just to be so aggressive with our high pass, because when you are within a drop, you typically have lots of bass, lots of mids, and lots of kick drums and just percussion and all that kind of stuff. So we want to make an aggressive high pass. And just like the other ones, we want to find some places that kind of sticks out. And again, we want to boost the highs. So this is kind of the EDM piano style. Of course, as I said in the beginning, there is no right or wrong way to equalize a piano. It's all about how it sits in the mix. And the piano is a very difficult instrument to equalize because you have kind of all of the frequencies within the instrument. So you have to be really careful. Don't make too wide or too narrow cuts. You kind of want to make them perfect, as you can say, without it being right or wrong. So it's all about the piano and the piano sound, or the piano VST, or if you have a grand piano, or if you have a piano from a synthesizer, or wherever you are getting your sound from. You really want to equalize it the way that you want it to sit in the mix, and not as much as it being a solo piano, unless it really is a solo piano. Also, if I had a bigger mix, I would also have EQ'd the in-mix piano differently. Maybe I would have given it more low end or less low end, depending on the instruments and the sounds and the synths in the whole mix. So for the final tip, the bonus tip is kind of how to make your piano sound bigger and louder and fatter and wider. So if we take the solo piano, I will demonstrate it on that. You can kind of do it on any piano, but let's just listen to the solo piano. It's a really nice piano, but if the piano is solo, we kind of want it to be big and wide. Of course, there is always reverb, chorus, delay, and all that kind of stuff that you can add to it, compression or whatever you want to add. But yeah, let's just try to do it with equalizing. So what we want to do is to find a mid-side EQ, and I will use the ozone isotope. And we want to select mid-side. Then we select the sides, which means that we only EQ the signals that comes from the pure right and pure left speaker. If you don't have headphones, this would be kind of hard to hear, and if you have, I would really recommend that you use them right now. So what we want to do is to boost the high end. And make a little cut somewhere in the low end. And this is with the mid-side EQ, and this is without. And this already makes everything a little bit wider because we enhance the high frequencies, but we only do it in the sides. Meanwhile, we are keeping the mids like they always were. Then I want to add a final equalizer, which is a left-right equalizer. I will also be using the isotope equalizer for this one. Left-right. And the reason why I want to do this is because if you listen carefully, in the left ear we have lots of low frequencies, because a piano naturally sounds like that. But I want to boost a little high frequencies in the left ear. So if we listen without anything attached to the piano, it sounds like this. And together with all the equalizers, it sounds like this. And as I said with the in-mix piano, you can always adjust the high pass position. If you have a lot of bass, you can remove some, and if you have little to no bass, you can kind of do like this, but I would recommend to be somewhere around this. Because if you make it too thin, it sounds unnatural. So there you have it, guys. This was basically how I would EQ my pianos. And again, you need to see the bigger picture. So if you have a whole song and you have the piano within the song, I would always, and really always, equalize the piano while everything else is turned on. So you hear everything with the piano. And then when you do the widening bonus tip, then I would kind of solo the piano without changing the main equalizing that we made first, and then I would make the side equalizing and the left to right equalizing. I hope this helped you a lot, and I will say thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe. I will make more videos like this in the future, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.